Hello and welcome everyone. My name is André Salles, and in this lecture I'm going to talk to you about the meaning, the form, and the usage of the present perfect tense. So let's get started. The most common use for the present perfect tense is when we need to talk about an action that has taken place once or many times before now. The exact time when the action happened is not important. The focus of the present perfect is on the action. Example: they have moved into a new house. We can also use the present perfect to talk about an action that started in the past and has continued up until the present time. Example: they have lived in that house for 5 years. We can also use the present perfect to talk about a change that has happened over an unspecified period of time. Example: her English has really improved since she started taking private lessons. And we can also use the present perfect to talk about an action that we were expecting to happen but has not happened. In this case, it's possible, but not obligatory, to use the word yet at the end of the sentence. Example: Mary has not arrived yet. And the present perfect can also be used to describe the repetition of an activity over an unspecified period of time. In this case, it's possible to use the expressions so far, many times, or the prepositions for or since in the sentences. Example: I have visited my grandma many times this semester. Let's see now some sentences in the present perfect. Let's start with sentences in the affirmative form. I have built a house. You have built a house. He has built a house. She has built a house. We have built a house. You have built a house. They have built a house. In the present perfect, the affirmative sentences are formed with the auxiliary verb have in the present simple, followed by the main verb in the past participle. I have not built a house. You have not built a house. He has not built a house. She has not built a house. We have not built a house. You have not built a house. They have not built a house. To make negative sentences with the present perfect, you just need to use the word not between the auxiliary verb have and the main verb. Have you built a house? Has he built a house? Has she built a house? Have we built a house? Have you built a house? Have they built a house? Interrogative sentences are formed by placing the auxiliary verb have at the beginning of the sentence. The subject, a noun or a pronoun, is then placed just after the auxiliary verb. And after the auxiliary verb, we put the main verb in the past participle. Let's see now some sentences that show actions that have happened or have not happened in the past at an unspecified time. In this case, it's possible to include the words ever, never, already, still, just, or yet, in the sentence. I have just listened to this new song. Have you ever eaten snails? Have you finished that report yet? I have never met him. Now, let's take a look at sentences that describe actions that started in the past and have continued up until the present time. In this case, it's very common to use the words for plus a duration of time or since plus a specified time in the sentence. I have had this cough for 2 weeks. He has liked this book since he was a little boy. They have lived in London for 6 years. He has enjoyed this game since the first time he played it. Let's see now some examples of sentences that describe changes that have happened over an unspecified period of time. The school has changed a lot since the new director arrived. Martha has grown more talkative since she started kindergarten. Her spoken German has really improved. They have become more disciplined and organized under her influence. Let's see now some examples of sentences that talk about expected actions that did not happen. Greg has not finished his report yet. Ben has not bought the ice. Chris has not sent the invitations to the party. Arthur has not proposed her. Let's see now some sentences that describe the repetition of an activity in the past. In this case, it's common to include the expression so far in the sentence. We have had 3 tests at school this week. They have met a lot of people to explain the new company policy. We have heard this noise several times. Bart has complained to the manager 3 times so far.